Hello.
Okay. All right, so we'll call a meeting to order at 7 p.m. We'll seat John in the place of, let's see, who could we, how about, let's see, Dave. You could take
No,
Dave's
Dave's
place
here.
tonight.
Dave's
Sounds
here.
good.
Dave just joined us.
Oh, Dave is here.
Oh,
Is he here? Okay, yeah, he could take Dave's place then. All right.
Why are you not going with Tom?
Well, I always, I'm
Did
not
you-
sure he's going to be
Did you say,
going.
did
What's
you
that?
say Steve? Because Steve is an alternate. It has to be either
He could be
No, I said Dave.
Tip or
Tom, Tip,
Mary.
or Mary.
Yep.
Dave Holcroft.
You can be whoever you want to be.
Okay.
that's liberating.
Are there any additions or changes to the agenda, order of the agenda? No?
I'd like to make, let's see, one quick change and do new business before old business.
Oh,
So I'd like to
okay.
swap item 7 and 6 because Jim Blair is going to be a little bit late. He said he'd be back, be able to log on by 7:15 at the latest.
Okay, we'll do the new
And then-
business first. then.
Last thing, just as an order of business, I'd like to add one item to administrative report, which will be an administrative approval at 79 Cards Mill. I just want to make sure that's listed in the agenda as well.
Great, okay, Cards Mill, right? Okay. Audience of citizens, I know we've got one. Michael Coster, you want to say anything, Michael?
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So let's go ahead with the new business, item 7.1. IWWC 2223-24 application for a jurisdictional ruling of Michael Costner to repair the last step at 168 Route 87. You want to give us a little background on that again, Isabel?
Absolutely. So I met Michael a few weeks ago in December to discuss repairs that he'd like to make to just his step down into the lake. The bottom step is eroding, again, very similar to the town pier and the property on Woodland Terrace, Lower Woodland Terrace that we've discussed recently. But the only area that he would like to repair is just that one bottom step. So he'd like to dig down slightly into the lake, fix the step so it's not being undermined any longer. And that would be the extent of the work that he's proposing. I recommended to him that he apply for a jurisdictional ruling rather than a full permit from the commission, as I believe that it falls under, let me see, I'm just pulling up the language right here now, I apologize. Uses incidental to the enjoyment or maintenance of residential property. Just as a matter of fixing that small area.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on that at all, or?
Yeah, is there gonna be anything dug down deep or, what does it need to fix it?
Michael, do you have the depth in mind that you had something on your application written down that I can pull up?
Yeah, I believe that we'll stay within the boundaries that existed, I believe, at construction. I don't intend to go into the lake. I just need to go down about 12 inches. I think it's recommended for a good footer. And then I can build the step on that. And when the wave action occurs, I won't be getting that undercutting because it will be hitting essentially the footer before it starts to work away at the concrete.
What is the footer?
there, it's just stone right now.
What are you gonna do? What's gonna be the new one?
I'll use probably 4,000 PSI concrete
Yeah.
formed. And then on top of that, may do stone or whatever the contractor recommends. But we're gonna stay equal to or behind the current breakwater.
Any other questions? Okay, then I need a motion to make this application a jurisdictional ruling. Somebody want to
Right.
make that motion?
I do have some language that can be
Oh.
read and be voted on as well.
Okay, very good.
Okay. I move that the proposed activity is qualified under section 4.1D of the commission's regulations as a use incidental to the enjoyment and maintenance of residential property and is not a regulated activity requiring a wetlands permit. Applicant Michael Coster at 168 through 87. And I have the language up for 4.1D if anyone would like that read as well.
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
All right.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Michael. Okay, so I guess we'll get on to the old business, but I guess Jim isn't here. James Blair isn't out here yet, right?
That's right. He might be a few more minutes.
Okay, well, we could give him a few more minutes. Why don't we go into the approval of the meeting minutes? Item 8.1. Do I have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of December 5th, 2022?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, David. Can we second that?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
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 Okay. I noticed that David is here now. Maybe John should be taking the place of Tom Archambault instead of Dave, because Dave is here.
All right.
Okay. So
I thought that's what he had been doing the whole time because Dave got here right at the beginning.
Dave,
Oh,
John,
he's
we're on it.
here?
We're on it, John, don't
Okay.
worry.
Thank you. I didn't see him on the screen. Sorry, Dave. Okay, and the site walk minutes of December 19th, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve those?
I moved
I'll make-
away from the minutes for that site walk.
Okay, a second.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right.
Aye.
And we've got, let's see, we don't have any audience of citizens anymore. How about item 8.3 at 79 Cards Mill Road? You want to bring us up to date on that, Isabel?
Yes, so it's the same application essentially that we had discussed previously. I issued another administrative approval for the wedding venue and the associated site work that needs to be done for the wedding venue at 79 Cards Mill Road. The only changes that have been made within the upland review area is that there is a slightly larger restroom area. It was originally 17 by 23 and it was changed to 17 by 35. So there are some modifications that were made to the building. Handicap walkway that's concrete and another small bump out. But the infiltration that's been proposed will still be more than sufficient to capture what's needed and what was required by the original approval. They have 4 infiltrators going in at that particular site. So again, I really think it's going to have no greater than a minimal impact. And other than that, it was really the same. There were additionally, there were 3 boulders that are by the road that are technically within the upland review area because there's a slope greater than 20%, so it's extended by 200 feet. But they're over 100 feet from the river. And so I gave permission for those as well to be removed and a landscaping berm to be placed where those are going to be taken from.
Is that wedding venue still on the books? Is it going to be?
So it
Done?
was, I'm not sure. Initially, the PZC did deny it. But they've come back, they've made some modifications. I think, I'm not sure what else. They changed some specifics about their plan. They made the parking area smaller. And they're making modifications to the roadway a little bit. They're moving a telephone pole to make things safer for traffic. So I'm not sure how successful it will be or won't be within PZC. But I don't think that it will be an issue at all for the wetlands or pose any risk to the wetlands.
Okay, very good. Okay, do we have any commission open discussion?
I think we have Jim Blair.
Oh,
I am here.
I don't
okay.
know if he's a
Very good.
commission open
Okay.
discussion, but we do have him.
Let's go back to old business, item 6.1, IWWC 2223-22. Application of Jim Blair to construct a permeable patio and walkway at 167 Route 87. Want to give us a little bit of update on that, Isabella?
Yes, so we had a site walk on the 19th to view the area. Jim is proposing a patio that's going to be made of permeable pavers. And I believe the walkway will be made of permeable pavers as well. The dimensions of the patio will be 15 by 26 and the walkway 4 by 44. The area itself is fairly flat. There's not a significant slope to be concerned with. There's not a significant amount of runoff coming from the road or from other areas to this section of property. But it is fairly close to the lake, which is why it was necessary to bring it to the commission. Jim's plan is very aggressive with infiltration. He's going to be infiltrating. The requirement for the nutrient allocation plan was 2 inches. I think he's exceeding that fairly significantly just with the requirements for the permeable pavers. Let's see what else. Jim, do you have anything to add?
No,
Forgetting?
no, I don't necessarily have anything to add. It all sounds good in your synopsis there. It's just, I'd like to beg forgiveness from the commission for not being available at the site walk and being late this evening. And then were there questions that were brought up that need to be addressed by me, by anybody else, to make sure that, I do that. That was it.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Jim? If not, do you
Nope.
have? Okay, yes. Somebody have something?
No, just saying no. No questions.
Okay. So do we have a summary ruling on the application? Isabel,
Yes, we do.
would you read it, please?
Absolutely. Let me just share my screen. So this is for the application of Jim Blair, IWWC 2223-22 for a permeable paver patio and walkway on the lakefront at 167 Route 87. The approval will be valid for 2 years unless extended by this agency and shall expire upon performance or completion of the project. Special consideration is to be given to Columbia Lake, which is designated under section 1.6 of Columbia's wetlands regulations as an area of special concern. Actually, I wanted to take that out. Maintenance practices necessary to assure proper functioning of erosion and sedimentation controls, routine monitoring and removal of sediment and repairs if necessary. Controls to be monitored prior to forecasted rain events and after forecasted rain events of 3/4 of an inch or greater. Permeable pavers are to be maintained in accordance with the manufacturer's guidelines, and a letter certifying maintenance has been performed will be sent to the town biennially as maintenance is otherwise required per the manufacturer's guidelines. And the agent, James Blair, is assigned responsibility for implementing the erosion and sediment control plan. Responsibility includes installation and maintenance of control measures, informing parties engaged on construction of requirements and objectives of the plan, notifying the Wetlands Commission of any transfer of this responsibility, and conveying a copy of the erosion and sediment control plan if the title to the land is transferred.
Okay, very good. So do I have a motion to accept the summary ruling?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, second,
I second it.
very good. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Approved. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And thank you again.
You're welcome, Jim.
All right, have a good night.
Yep,
You
you
too.
too.
You too.
Okay.
Okay, so we're kind of pretty much finished here. We don't have an audience of citizens or any, do we have any commission open discussion? No? And administrative reports, any that you want to talk about, Isabel?
Nope, just the one at Cardsmill.
The one you mentioned, okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I
I'll
make a
make a
motion.
motion.
Okay, we got two at the same time.
Do. Well, I'll second it then.
All right, very good. Thank you, John. All in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Very good. Have a good weekend, everybody, and thanks for
Good night.
coming out.
You
Appreciate it.
too,
Thank you.
Ron.